I'm proud of our fight, the toughness that we showed, our ability to stay together. Our bench was really engaged in every timeout and in every huddle. We were all engaged.
1 point short of breaking 6 records, that was the heartbreaking truth Caitlin Clark had to deal with following her game against the Atlanta Dream. The scoreboard displayed a 91-90 loss, but the record books were being entirely redone.
Dug themselves into an early hole here. Clark looking to get going. Oh, that's a deep three!
The emotional roller coaster of Clark's night against Atlanta is about to begin. From the moment she broke records that took previous legends hundreds of games to reach, to the referee controversies that caused her boyfriend to tweet in fury, one just completely blew Sabrina Ionescu away. The most startling aspect is that Clark set one of these records in just 42 games, whereas Courtney Vanderloot took 394 games to do it. Please leave a remark below to express your support despite the devastating defeat. Come on, let's go.
Yes, this stinks. We want to win this game. But, I think this is great for our team. A little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. We have a chance to go there and play them, actually. So it's even better, I guess. We can, get a little redemption if we go down there and play well.
Imagine if I told you that even one of the best individual performances in WNBA history wasn't sufficient to win? That was precisely what transpired during the Fever's thrilling matchup with the Atlanta Dream, which concluded in a heartbreaking 91-90 loss. The only thing separating Clark from adding a team win to her historic evening was 1 point.
Honestly, I give my team a lot of credit, my teammates a lot of credit. We never gave up. We fought. We were right there. We found a way to get back in it. When things didn't seem very good for this group, at least we stayed together and we kept fighting, and that's a positive.
The story of what might have been is told by those last minutes. With only 9.7 seconds remaining and 1 second remaining, Clark rushed the ball to Natasha Howard. Aaliyah Boston was the intended recipient of the play, but Dream defenders eliminated that possibility. Howard had a clear view, but Nia Coffey blocked her shot. For a second chance, Howard collected her own rebound, but the ball simply refused to fall.
They shot 32 free throws. It's a lot of free throws. Going to be difficult to win a lot of games when we foul people that much and put them at the line that much. It's tough. They made 25 out of 32. We still went to the line 26 times, missed 10. So that's the game really right there. It obviously doesn't come down to that, but it's just a little thing.
The Fever's quiet killer turned out to be free throws. In a game that was decided by a single point, they shot a dismal 16 for 26 from the line, missing 10 important free throws. Howard went 0 for 4 from the line in the fourth quarter alone, and Boston also missed a crucial free throw in the closing seconds. In a 1-point match, their misses are really noticeable. Despite often overcoming double-digit deficits, the Fever showed amazing heart. Although their tenacity was evident, the defense was unable to maintain consistency for 4 quarters. The Fever held the Dream to just 13 and 15 points in the second and fourth quarters, while the Dream scored 31 points in the first and 32 points in the third. That discrepancy turned out to be expensive. Coach Stephanie White wasn't holding back while discussing the defensive issues.
I didn't think we were disruptive at all. I felt like we let them move the ball wherever they wanted to. We had a lot of breakdowns in our coverages. We weren't really helping one another out. We played like 5 individuals defensively at times instead of collectively as a unit. And good teams take advantage of that. Atlanta was really good at getting downhill. They knocked down some tough shots, but when you dig yourself a hole, it makes it really difficult to use all your energy to come back.
Just enough was accomplished by the Dream tactic to keep Clark in check. To break her rhythm, they employed full-court pressure and several defenders. Carl Smisko, the Dream coach, said, "We tried to keep it out of some people's hands, including Clark. We were just hoping to force them into taking a tough shot."
What was the plan defensively for the Fever's last possession of the game?
We just put a lineup up there that we thought could match up. We were gonna, if we needed to, we'd switch. If we got hung up on anything, we try to keep it out of some people's hands. And we were just hoping to take a tough shot. And they probably got a shot that they felt good about, but we played really good defense on the shot. We, didn't foul and made it tough.
Inside, Brittany Griner and Banner Jones combined for a commanding 40 points and 21 rebounds, and the Fever had no answer. To seal the deal for Atlanta, Ryan Howard scored 20 points, including 4 three-pointers. You can see how this budding Fever team's chemistry is still developing. During pivotal times, Defensive rotations faltered. The players appeared uncertain about their help assignments. We'll speak about the records later, but this loss hurts even more because of something that was totally beyond the players' control. The split-second judgments that come with team knowledge simply weren't there yet. Everyone was furious at the officiating, including Clark's own boyfriend and the supporters.
Boston continues to show her frustration. It really started.
Imagine giving it your all and smashing records one after another, only to miss important calls that would have altered the outcome of the game. That's precisely what transpired in this heartbreaking matchup with Atlanta. And Clark's face was etched with frustration. Let that sink in. Coach Stephanie White had to burn both of her challenges in the first half alone due to the dubious officiating. Before halftime, both challenges were over on what White referred to as point-blank missed calls. A straightforward out-of-bounds play that should have been a simple call for the referees resulted in the wasting of one challenge.
How disruptive were that first half, the choppy waters, the stoppages like Caitlin was talking about, and you guys never really were able to get in the pace like you've been talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's every coach's frustration when you have to use challenges on out-of-bounds plays. I mean, it is what it is. But for teams to win 3 challenges in the first half, I don't know that I've ever seen that either.
As the game continued, Clark was unable to conceal her irritation. The whistle remained quiet even though every drive to the basket appeared to include contact. After several unsuccessful calls, her arms shot up in shock, her annoyance growing with every chance lost. She was attempting to remain composed while speaking with the referees, but it was obvious that their chats were going nowhere.
Got a piece of the ball, and Clark says part of her arm as well. Jump ball is. Well, she's just so impressive because it's felt like a relatively quieter Caitlin.
After Connor McCaffrey, Clark's boyfriend, posted a tweet on social media that went viral right away, the dispute spread outside of the court. The WFS are in mid-season form, which is encouraging. Within hours, thousands of people retweeted the post as critics and followers banded together to voice their disapproval. Video evidence supported these grievances. Clark was seen absorbing contact on drives without a whistle in several possessions. She was bumped while making a three-pointer in one particularly noticeable sequence, but officials ignored their whistles even though there was definite contact on the follow-through.
The first half seemed pretty choppy with, the amount of fouls, the challenges. Just how did that affect you as the point guard and just the team's pace as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, to me, challenges cannot take that long. It ruins the flow of the game. I get it. It's early in the year. The refs want to make the right call. We can't sit there for 2.5, 3 minutes and on an obvious hit out of bounds off of them and still not know the call. I get it. There's things to look at. There's the clock. There's is the ball going to be taken out. But that's not the only reason the flow of the game was ruined. But we're just standing there. We're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And then obviously, like I said, a lot of free throws shot between both teams tonight. That makes the game more choppy when there's a lot of fouls.
Not all of these missed calls resulted in free throws. They halted Indiana's whole offensive momentum. The Fever were unable to establish any steady rhythm as the game became jerky and disconnected. After the game, Clark addressed this openly, pointing out that the squad had a hard time getting into rhythm with so many dubious decisions. The officiating was on full display tonight. It was terrible. One analyst said. Another merely called the referees laughable and not in a good way. The WNBA's response to these issues is now in doubt as Clark keeps drawing previously unheard of attention to the league. With this many contentious calls, a 1-point loss merits examination. However, despite all of this disappointment, there was a fantastic upside. An unforgettable performance that changed the record books in unexpected ways.
When Coach White is put in a position to have to use both her challenges in the first half on calls that were pretty point blank, and then we're left with none there in the second half, which, you can pick and choose. Maybe you save them, maybe you don't, but still, every single possession matters. But like I said, it doesn't come down to that. No matter what, if it's a choppy game, we got to find a way to find our flow a little bit better, especially to start the game and start the second half, for sure.
The record books were being entirely redone in front of us as the scoreboard displayed loss. Not only did Caitlin Clark break one record in one night, but she also broke 6 others and added 2 more accomplishments to her portfolio. This was more than simply a fun game. She is in a class by herself because of this remarkable performance.
Another second chance opportunity. Clark fire away and knocks down a 3. That is just that signature Caitlin Clark shot. She will launch. Oh, yes!
Let's begin with an idea that will astound you. With 10 of these efforts, Clark ties Courtney Vanderloot for the most 20-point, 10-assist games in WNBA history. The difference was that Clark set a league record in just 42 games. For Vanderloot to hit that same milestone, 394 games were required. It's not a typo. Clark's 394 games against 42 in a single season is equivalent to other legends' whole careers.
There's that drag screen.
Bounce it for Boston. Boston lays it in. It's a 2-point game.
They haven't had much of that tonight.
In just 42 games, she became the WNBA's fastest player to reach 350 career assists. Tichar Penrose, the previous record holder, needed 47 games in 1999 before Clark smashed his rookie assist mark last season. The fact that it took legends like Sue Bird and Teresa Weatherspoon 56 games each to reach that milestone makes it even more amazing. Recall that Clark now holds the record for 6 games with 25 points or more and 10 assists, surpassing Sabrina Ionescu's 5-game mark. It took Ionescu 5 years in the WNBA to establish herself. In the second year, Clark passed her. This is something that has never occurred in the WS history. Clark made history by being the first player to start a season with consecutive performances of 20 points or more and 10 assists or more. The majority of players hope to play one of these games during a season. Clark began her second year with 2 consecutive.
Different times during the game. Situational defense will be better because they have all those things. I think that's a combination of why they're going to have a much better defensive effort.
There's Clark with a beautiful find inside to Aaliyah Boston.
Her uniqueness lies in her adaptability. She has now become the only player in WNBA history to have multiple games with 25-plus points, 10-plus assists, 5-plus rebounds, and 5-plus three-pointers. No one else has repeated this action. In just 42 games, Clark has already done it several times. She finished with 27 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds versus the Dream. 5 threes and 2 steals, shooting 5 out of 11 from outside the arc and 9 out of 20 from the field. Another typical day at work. She hasn't stopped smashing records, either. As she rises up the WNBA's all-time rankings, she has also accomplished 2 milestones. The fact that Clark is currently the 4th fastest player to reach 800 career points demonstrates how rapidly she is accumulating points in all categories. She also tied Chelsea Gray for the 10th highest number of doubles by a guard in WNBA history. Once more, it needed other stars to win a small percentage of the games.
The other thing they're trying to speak into existence is 6 or 7 players averaging double figures. They believe it.
Backdoor pass there from Clark to Kelsey Mitchell.
The last season and into this year. Such a great backdoor.
These accomplishments are particularly noteworthy because of Clark's ability to blend exceptional passing with versatile scoring. She is more than just a passer or a shooter. She excels at both at the same time. What sets her apart from other rising stars is her consistency. Back-to-back the season's opening 20.10 assist games demonstrate that this wasn't a 1-AME wonder. The unsettling aspect is that Clark is still growing. She is still getting to know the league and developing relationships with her teammates. When she is at her best, the possibilities appear limitless. What will happen when she truly settles in? What records will she break? These isolated successes suggest that Indiana is about to witness something more significant. Even though one game resulted in a devastating defeat, the league should be concerned about this particular team's long-term future under Clark's leadership. Extremely concerned.
Second chance opportunity. Clark fire away and knocks down a 3.
And then right here. Boy, you've grown to love watching.
It is impossible to overlook what is happening in Indiana, even after the heartache of a 1-point defeat. A dynasty in the making, this heartbreaking loss to Atlanta truly demonstrated the Fever team's potential. Imagine what your squad will do when everything clicks and they smash several records in a loss. The disparity is remarkable. Clark's momentous evening combined with problems that are entirely resolvable defensive rotations and free throws execution of the game late. These are not issues with talent. These are chemical issues that get better over time.
But like I said, it was just flat. We missed free throws. We missed layups. We didn't really execute. They were physical. And I think that was kind of why it didn't feel as smooth as we would have liked there.
Examine the already established core. Aaliyah Boston defeated Atlanta with an incredible double-double of 24 points and 10 rebounds. She put up a fantastic fight against the Dream's bigs, which Coach White commended. Kelsey Mitchell contributed 24 points of her own and demonstrated the kind of leadership this young group requires. Several times, Lexi Hull's enthusiasm off the bench altered the course of the game.
I thought AB was outstanding. She battled, for what, 36, almost 37 minutes. And BG and Bree Jones are two of the best bigs in our league. I thought she did an outstanding job, and we got to learn and grow from
Add
it.
the veterans who are still figuring out where they fit in now. Howard, Natasha Borner, Dana Brianna Turner, and Sydney Coulson due to an injury. Sophie Cunningham hasn't even played yet. This group is currently finding things out. Coach White was compelled to commend her team's perseverance, saying, "I'm proud of our fight and our resilience. We remained together and engaged. They've fallen behind in games and stayed together, which says a lot about their spirit. They can recover from double-digit deficits."
Kelsey and AB and Caitlin have played together, so they have this synergy, and really with DB and with Tosh, like how we bring them into the fold, so to speak, and that's a challenge that we're looking into. We're trying to figure out, shorter stints because it was an up and down game, right? And I felt like Kels, Caitlin, and Lexi were giving us really good stuff, on both ends of the floor, and it's tough when you feel like you're starting to get some momentum to sub. I probably should have subbed a little bit more in that second half, but like the group that was out there.
The previous season's statistical gains are striking. The Fever are already displaying greater three-point shooting, bigger scoring totals, and better assist percentages. Despite the development of Harmony, their offensive rating has increased dramatically. Ironically, this defeat may hasten their development more than a simple victory. Clark acknowledged that this game offers us a chance to learn and that the group is fostering communication and relationships. Stronger ties are formed by these difficult lessons than by cozy successes. This club is extremely dangerous moving forward because of Clark's exceptional talent and their combined hunger following such a painful loss. The rest of the WNBA should be afraid of what lies ahead once the issues that can be remedied are resolved. The future is not entirely promising. Fever is the future.
It's a part of, being a professional athlete. It comes with the territory. Some nights is good and some nights is bad. Do I want us to make them? Yeah. Do they want to make them? Yeah. But I think that that's a part of the game. We can't, hang our hats on those missed free throws. However, as a professional athlete, it's important and imperative that we do have them. So we know the importance of it.
This matchup with Atlanta gave us a clear indication of the future of the Fever. Clark shattered 6 records in one night. We still need to figure out how to have all 5 guys on the floor on the same page on both ends of the floor, even though Boston and Mitchell are becoming the stars they were meant to be. Coach White is aware of this. That is the reason this team is so intriguing. There is already talent. There will be chemistry. The defensive maneuvers will become more precise. The free throws are going to land. What occurs when a case of champion fever strikes? One that gets stronger every time Clark breaks a record and this youthful group gains knowledge from one another. The best part is that it's just getting started. Despite the devastating loss, leave a supportive comment below for the Fever. Like, subscribe, and enable all alerts to ensure you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next video. Click the video on the screen.